Hi. Seems like we are live. Yeah, let me just double check if we are. Yes, yes. So, welcome to this live session, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. As you already must be knowing, we are going to talk about the addiction that we all are surrounded by and we all experience, yet uh, we fail to come out of it despite we trying it ourselves, right? So आज मैं कुछ अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करना चाहूँगा एंड विल टॉक अबाउट सम सॉल्यूशंस टू इट एंड हाउ टू प्रॉपरली एग्जीक्यूट बिकॉज सॉल्यूशन तो हर जगह है बट जब हम ट्राई करते हैं तो नहीं हो पाता राइट यस सो लेट मी शो यू समथिंग बिफोर वी स्टार्ट लेट मी शो यू समथिंग ओके प्लीज होल्ड विथ मी Okay, so I just so sorry, मेरा audio नहीं आ रहा था शायद. Yeah, so yesterday I used my cell phone for 10 hours and 20 minutes. All right, that was my uses for of my cell phone. I would like to show some more things to you. In the past 5 days, I have used my cell phone for over 5 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours, and similarly, like I have been constantly using my cell phone a lot since the past few days. If I add the screen time of my laptop, so it becomes around somewhere around like 13 hours and like 14 hours per day. And when I came across this data, I was baffled. मेरे को खुद के ऊपर लाइक भरोसा नहीं हो रहा था कि मैं इतना टाइम क्यों अपने डिवाइसेस पे स्पेंड कर रहा हूँ एंड एम आई नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग एल्स इन माय डेली लाइफ then I understood this exactly मेरे साथ अभी एक इंसिडेंट हुआ था where I lost one of my pets so I was feeling a bit low and what happens when we face such kind of incidents such kind of situations in our life जब परेशानी है बहुत कुछ डिफिकल्टीज है लाइफ में कुछ ऐसा सिचुएशन आता है जब कुछ करने का मन नहीं करता we turn to our devices we just go to the social media and scroll we just binge content we just mindlessly scroll and in normal days as well we tend to look and tend to go through and spend mindless hours which seem like minutes eventually turns to hours and we spend it over social media and the sad part is we are not even aware right for an example if your screen time आपका अगर screen time 5 से 6 घंटे का है in your cell phone which is the average screen time of every Indian user all right there are people who are having more than it most of us have youth have more screen time than it right but the average screen time is 5 to 6 hours uh, a day right and what happens is you are not realizing that you are spending a week's time in a month एक महीने के अंदर आप एक हफ्ता पूरा आप अपने सेल फोन पे अपने डिवाइसेस पे स्पेंड कर रहे हैं like there are 4 weeks in a month and out of those 4 weeks you are spending one whole week in your cell phone even if you have the screen time of 5 to 6 hours a day आपको ऐसा लग रहा होगा जो आदमी का जिस आदमी का स्क्रीन टाइम 10 घंटे 12 घंटे 13 घंटे 14 घंटे का है वो मेरे को क्या सिखाएगा आप सब ऐसे सोच रहे होंगे जो भी आज मुझे देख रहे हैं बट आई हैव रियलाइज्ड दिस एंड बाय द वे दिस इंक्लूड्स आल्सो माय वर्क दैट आई डू एज अ पार्ट टाइम सो इतना भी नहीं है मेरा ओके सो आई एम जस्ट एन एवरेज जस्ट लाइक यू ऑलराइट सो लेट्स together figure out what exactly can be done to get ourselves out of this trap. All right, आपके साथ भी ऐसा होता होगा कि आप चाहते हैं इससे निकलना। ये सेल फोन में आप स्क्रॉल कर रहे हैं, आप परेशान हो चुके हैं, लेकिन छूट 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 नहीं रहा है। आप निकलना चाहते हैं वहां से, बट निकल नहीं पा रहे हैं। आप उसको निकल आप वहां से एग्जिट करके जबरदस्ती उसको डिलीट करके निकाल के रिसेंट्स में से आप स्क्रीन को लॉक करते हैं, कुछ करने जाते हैं, एंड देन यू रिक्वायर योर सेल फोन फॉर सम अदर थिंग। दूसरा किसी चीज के लिए आपको सेल फोन की जरूरत होती है, यू होल्ड योर सेल फोन, 2 मिनट बाद आप वापस वहीं पर पहुंच जाते हैं। आपको रियलाइज भी नहीं होता कि कब मैंने इंस्टाग्राम खोला और कब मैं रील्स फीड पे आके रील सेक्शन पे आके स्क्रॉल करने लगा हूँ। कुछ कुछ मिनट्स बाद, कुछ टाइम बाद आपको रियलाइजेशन होता है ये वाला। और जब तक रियलाइजेशन होता है 15 मिनट 20 मिनट चला जा चुका होता है, राइट? इफ ऑल यू आर someone who is stuck in this loop, let me say this to you: you are not alone, and it is not your fault, because these platforms, these social media platforms, are designed in such a way to grab your attention, to hold you from not quitting that app. And you trying to get out of it, despite that you are not being able to get out of it, is not your fault, but it's a sign that you are aware about the situation. आप अगर चाह रहे हैं इससे निकलना, इसका मतलब आप अवेयर हैं कि yes, I need to get out of here. इसका मतलब आपने पहला स्टेप जो है वो पूरा कर चुका है. You are aware that I need to cut it. And those of you who are watching this video with me, along with me, I mean, you are a part of this video, then definitely you all are aware that this is something that I need to work on in order to make myself a better version, a better person, someone who is really very aware of my situation and is able to dedicate my time to things that are of value to me. I need to cut my social media uses, right? So let's get into the concept and the ideas and the tricks that are going to help us to cut our social media uses. All right? Yes. Okay. Let's start. Let's begin without any delay. All right. Yeah. Let me just double check quickly if the live video is properly working. Uh, Yep, it is. Thank you. Thank you for waiting, everyone. Let's get back. Yes, let me share a few points on which we can work together in order to cut down our social media uses. And the first thing that we need to do, and most of us have already crossed this first phase, which is realizing. All right, realization is the first step. All right, where you are aware कि मेरे को इसको कम करना है, बहुत हो गया. And no more. I don't want myself to waste my time anymore on these social medias. All right. Of course, there are positive side to it. Of course, there is a lot of information that is there for you to be updated and to be in the social category where you are aware about your surrounding through social media. But the negative side are far more dangerous and harmful to us, right? So first thing that we can do is to build up the mindset that we need to reduce our screen time and our attention that we are putting in the social media and in general in our devices, जहां पर कि हम unnecessary चीजों में involve हो रहे हैं. First, मैंने बता दिया. Second step would be decluttering your cell phone. Get rid of all those apps. Get rid of all those notifications from those apps which are not at all necessary for you, right? You must have heard Zomato saying, "Hi, sweetie, want to have some sweets?" Yes, order कर दो तुम्हारे लिए. You not at all require those notifications. Yes, आपको वो notification आता है, आप उसको खोलते हैं, and then you are again going to Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp, and you are spending 15-20 minutes or half an hour there. आप गए किसी लिए थे और आप वहां पर टाइम स्पेंड किस लिए कर रहे हैं? सो इवन इफ दे आर अननेसेसरी नोटिफिकेशंस, उसके वजह से आप अपने सेल फोन को निकाल के देखते हैं, राइट? एंड जैसे ही आप देखते हैं, यू सडनली mindlessly go to that पर्टिकुलर ऐप जहां पर आप एक बार अगर घुस गए तो आपको आपके 15-20 मिनट आधे घंटे बाद ही रियलाइज होगा कि आप यहाँ पर टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, राइट? सो फर्स्ट इज declutter your cell phone, organize your home screen, get rid of the apps and notifications that are not at all required for you and are some kind of something that are of not frequently used of yours, right? आप एक महीने 2 महीने में एक बार यूज करते हैं, still you have that notifications on or that app in your cell phone, right? Yeah, so you can use the web version of it. Every app has its web version, and अगर नहीं भी use करें, you can download it from the app store when you need it. All right. The second point was this. Third point will be recognize the pattern. All right, recognize this pattern that we all tend to follow, even when we are not aware. Okay, कितने बार ऐसा होता है कि शाम को आप अगर छोटा सा नैप ले रहे हैं, उसके बाद आपका नींद जब टूटता है, यू आर बैक ऑन योर सेल फोन. सुबह उठते साथ यू आर ऑन योर सेल फोन. रात को सोने से पहले यू आर ऑन योर सेल फोन. Yes, and so much of activities of your daily routine are related somehow or other to your cell phone or your devices, right? You need to understand that this becomes a pattern which repeat itself, right? And that is not at all going to help you in the long term, right? So be mindful about your own routine and these patterns. Try to break these patterns in order to get rid of the habits. Okay. The next point, the fourth point would be using time limits. Of course, I have tried it personally, and to some extent it helps. But अगर आप like ऐसे सोचेंगे जब तक आपका mindset ही नहीं बना है that I want to get rid of this, then using time limits also won't help. Okay, you will just skip each time the time limits appears, and it gives you a pop-up, and all of that time you will just skip that notification if you don't have the mindset. If you have the mindset, you will take it seriously and you will quit using the app. All right, next up we have digital detox, time and zone. All right, you must be having some time in your routine, some time in your week, maybe some part of your day where you are dedicated and you have taken a promise on yourself that I will not be using my devices for any social media or any devices for any uses. All right, so that we can call as digital detox zone. All right, it could be a space. It could be your living room. It could be your study room. It could be your bedroom where you decide not to use your devices in a particular time frame. Right? Yeah. Okay, next up we have unfollowing and muting, unfollowing and muting accounts and creators that those don't add any value to your life. Okay, come on, it happens with a lot of us that we often follow some handles, some accounts just because we like to just come across their content uh, at times. But we need to understand key, yeah, these are not adding any value to my life. And if this is the case, and we need to get rid of it, right? Yes. So why spend your valuable time in it if it is not adding any value to you? All right. So the next step was uh, unfollow and mute unnecessary accounts and handles that are not adding any value. All right. Another thing that we can do is using a different device, but not everyone is that privileged. And if you can, please do use your laptop or your desktop for using social media, because it's in your cell phone, it takes a lot of your time, because whenever you are doing nothing, you are using your social media and your cell phone, right? So most of the top uh, influencers and top businessmen and those who are really very productive throughout their day, they don't have their cell phone, they don't have their social media in their cell phone, most of them. Yes, because I have come across some influencers and some uh, educators and some uh, very successful people. They say that I don't have my social media in my cell phone. I use it whenever I need it in for posting some content. I open it in my laptop or my desktop and I use it from there, and then I get rid of that. All right. So that is something that I wanted to say, that if you can, please to use um, your social media through other devices and not through your primary cell phone. All right. Yes. Next up, we have this idea where you are focusing more on creating value rather than consuming. All right. We all are consumers. Most of us are consumers. We do consume content from other creators. All right. But if you switch that mindset, if you try to create rather than consume, you will feel more fulfilling. When you are journaling, maybe you are creating blogs or blogs. Okay. So BLOGS and VLOGS, both are different. Um, Anything that you are creating, it could be related to your hobby, could anything that you are creating, that gives you more fulfillment than just consuming people and um, seeing the flashy uh, internet and social media where people are posting the best moments of their life. We are just consuming them, and at last we feel like our own life, and we are not doing enough good in our lives, and we start comparing ourselves to others, and that again drains us both mentally and emotionally. All right. So yes, the next step would be the next point that I wanted to uh, add here is that is social media curfew, right? As I said, you can use the digital detox zones and times. Set a social media curfew time when you promise to not use your social media. You can take the help of the inbuilt applications in your cell phone, such as digital well-being to monitor, and also there are time limits to each app, individual app that you can add in your cell phone itself. In addition to that, you can also take the help of grayscale, right? Where your cell phone turns into black and white in terms of its display when you set the timing, right? So maybe after 9 p.m., it will turn into grayscale mode, so that the cell phone is not more attractive for you to look into, and you will just use it for things that you need and not that the desires that you want to fulfill, right? Yeah. So that is another thing. Yes. The next point, I will not stretch this any further, but the next point would be use focus mode on your cell phone. That is built in every single cell phone. Use the do not disturb mode, use the focus mode in your cell phone to isolate yourself from that digital space, from those notifications that bring you again to the digital environment whenever you don't want to. Maybe you are in a meeting, maybe you are doing something productive, still your cell phone is in normal mode, and just as soon as any buzz or a notification pops up, you are within a second your mind goes there. Even if you don't choose to open that, your mind is already there. क्या हो सकता है, किसका मैसेज आया होगा? Yes. So use those focus modes in order to get rid of that attention uh, splitting activity that your cell phone can do, right? Yes. uh, मैंने देखा है ये that people are talking to someone, and in the meantime they get a notification, and they just directly deviate from the conversation, and they are checking their cell phone, right? Yes. I mean, you can choose to not include the calls. I mean, if you're getting a call, it will ring, and that could be important. But what about notifications from Mintra, from brands that are just there to sell you something, just there to grab your attention in order to take your money or your time? Yes. So both of them are somehow related these days, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So last but not the least, And the most important point, I would say, is replace social media with other habits or other hobbies. Okay, that is the best way to leverage the power of focusing on a specific thing. You can do cooking, you can do gardening, you can do painting, you can do poetry, you can do anything that is something that you're good at and you love doing it, right? You can spend time doing that instead of just mindlessly scrolling over social media, right? That is a very good way for you to channelize your time and energy into something productive and not something that is just killing your time, right? Yes, so these are some of the points that I would like to emphasize for you to focus and take notes. Yes, please do consider following these in order to try cutting down your digital screen time. Yes, and as I already previously said as well, that if you have the mindset, then you will figure out your own ways. If you don't have it, any number of apps that those help you to reduce your screen time will not help. Yes, there are a lot of apps which are claiming to help you reduce your screen time. If you don't have the mindset of reducing your screen time, any number of those apps will not help. And if you are mindful, even if you don't follow any of these tricks and tips, you will still figure out your own way of reducing the screen time. All right. So with that, I would like to take a leap for this particular session. I hope you implement some or at least anything that would like to that is going to help you in future. So I have decided that I am going to reduce my screen time going ahead. Um, If you are also dedicated, please do type in the comments below. I will, and that will emphasize that you are going to implement the tips that you learned and you feel that yes, these can help. These tips can help me going ahead, right? So with that, I would like to take a leap. And if you're someone who is willing to improve your time management skills and your soft skills, and you have enough talent and you have enough hard skills for you to succeed in the professional life, still you are facing challenges managing your personal self, then please do check out ODCH. We have already given the link in the description where we help you become a better person of yourself by improving your soft skills and developing better English communication skills, which will again help you stand out in the crowd. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around till this time. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you once again. Take care.